So I'm just randomly recording this moment. I have a lot of random moments during the day where I will like talk to myself and talk out thoughts or conversations. And I figured like, why not record some of them for my own records and just to share with people who might be thinking some of the same things. I was having a conversation with someone this morning where they were wanting some advice or ideas on their small business and creating their small business and some of the aspects of it, and like creating their websites and products and, you know, how to do things like that. And, you know, I gave them some ideas and I mentioned some stuff, and they're just like, you need to start getting on top of doing this stuff, you know, for yourself. And like, you know, you're talking about how you've been researching this for a while now and how you want to start dealing with this, like doing this for yourself, like creating, like I do want to create a website, and I do want YouTube to become bigger of a thing, and I do want to start creating like chronic illness awareness merch and products and things like that, because I enjoy those type of things and buying those, like, you know, this fibromyalgia awareness t-shirt that I'm wearing right now. And, you know, they were just like, why aren't you doing this for yourself? But the thing I think people don't quite understand is, sorry, I had to move the camera around there. It was a little bit too hard to hold it up. So the thing that I realize that that holds me back, and the thing that I think people, healthy people, or people who haven't dealt with chronic illness for a long period of time, don't understand when it comes to like trying to make a plan and, you know, take the steps needed to work out a specific future for yourself, is that when you suffer from things like brain fog and constant pain and fatigue and things like that, you only get so much time in the day to really to learn new things, or to even do anything that takes up like your brain's energy. So like for me, you know, I work in the afternoon to like midnight. And so if during the day I want to do anything other than just relax and watch things for entertainment and, you know, chill, even, you know, do a craft or something like that, you know, that's fine. I can do however much of that I want during the day. But if I'm going to try to be learning something new, taking in new information, even doing any kind of like phone conference call, or even just a phone call to talk with a family member or friend, like all of that uses up a good amount of spoons for me, a good amount of brain energy, a good amount of processing that I have for the day. It wasn't something I struggled with previously, but over the past few years, like it's gotten a lot bigger. But like, not only are my spoons my energy, or my pain tolerance, but my spoons are also, you know, what my brain is capable of doing well in a day. So I already know that I'm going to be working my 8-hour shift, or slightly longer sometimes, for that day. And my job takes a lot of thought processing, and I'm trying to think of what's a good way to say it. It takes a lot of finagling of your words, of finding solutions, of remembering new things that like change. The current job I have changes very frequently. It changes a lot. And so I'm always having to go to notes, ask questions to help with whatever question that I'm being asked. So it takes all of my brain power just to do this job. And I can't multitask while I'm doing it. I can't talk to other people while I'm doing it. I can't listen to music or anything. Like I can listen to like ambient sounds, like the sound of rain or nature, or birds chirping or something like that. But I'm very limited to the things that I can do because it takes so much of my brain power. However, I did learn over the fall when I was helping out my family with some business things that they were doing, that if I overdid it during the morning, when it came time to work, I worked a lot worse. I guess I shouldn't say a lot worse, but I didn't do my job well. I couldn't remember the things I needed to remember. I couldn't recall things as easily. I just couldn't work as fast because my mind was already tired. It was already fatigued. It was already pushed, to its max. And so I realized if I want to do my job at the level that I'm being asked to do it at, I have to limit what I spend my time with during the day. So I have to limit how long my conversations are with people who want to have a phone conversation. And being an introvert, that's, not my favorite thing. I'd rather just text people. But, if my parents want to talk, or one of my siblings, or, somebody from my church want to have a phone conversation, I kind of have to ration that out for what else am I going to be able to do for the day. Just like you do with your spoons when it comes to your physical activity. Like, for me, like if I know, okay, today's the day that I bathe my dog and cut her nails and brush her, nothing else is going to happen that day. Like that has to be on a day that I'm not working. It has to be a day that I'm not going to be cleaning the house or doing any personal self-care, because that will take out everything I have. Days like there's a day where, I'm washing and straightening my hair, or whatever, like that takes up so much, so it can't be much done. The days that I vacuum and clean, I can do a tiny bit more that day. But like, if I know it's like the day that I'm washing my bedding and like making up my bed, and, you have to ration out that time, because you have to ration out that time because once you learn yourself and learn where your shut off is, if you want to be productive in your day, or if you specifically have something that you need to do that's going to take a lot more energy, or is going to be a lot more stressful, and you don't want it to have an extreme negative effect on your health, you learn to ration out that time and energy and that pain level. So it's really important that I have to learn to do that. I'm still working on this and learning this now, because it's my newest issue that I deal with, but is rationing out how much brain power I use. I don't know what other word to like, I feel like a computer that has like a processing minimum, or like gigabyte minimum for a day, is that if I start using up too much, like with your cell phone plans, that have like, that don't have unlimited data. Like once your data hits a certain level, then it starts moving slower. Like that's exactly what my brain does. Once I've pushed it too far and tried so hard just to get, my mind to learn new things, to try different things, to consider different things, to teach someone or explain something new to someone, I'm using up, these spoons or these gigabytes in my brain. And then when it comes time for me to work my shift that day, if I've used up too much, I can't do my job as well, and I need a lot more help, and I'm moving a lot slower, and I'm not as productive. And there's consequences to that. So when I have people who hear about things that I want to do, and like the plans that I'm trying to make for my future, and what my goals are, and my 5-year plan and things like that, which I do not have a 5-year plan, but I just have a plan for how long it takes. Like I can't put it in 5 years. I have no idea how long it would take. I have no idea how I'm going to be doing or feeling from 1 month to the next. Nonetheless, 1 year or 5 years to, I have no idea what that's going to look like. So I'm not able to plan out that far. However, when I'm talking about how like, hey, I want to try doing this, I want to be able to make this, I want to be able to create this, and they're just like, just do it. Like that's something that you could only say to someone whose body and mind is working and functioning at a normal level. For someone who has to ration out their minutes in the day with what they can do, they can't just do something like that. It just doesn't work. That's how you set yourself up for failure, disappointment, and frustration and anxiety. I've been very slowly over time learning and researching and watching videos and reading articles on how to create the type of business that I would like to create, on how to, what's the best software to use, what's the best company to work through, what are some of the things you need to look out for? What are the things you need to do ahead of time? What are the things you need to prepare for? There's a lot of stuff you have to learn for those things. And then, there are, things like, there are other streaming platforms where you can, that have classes that teach you things like this. But one, that costs money that I have to be able to save up and make sure I'm able to do. But more importantly than that, because I'm sure I can come up with that, the main issue is that it is going to cost me like time and energy in my mind. Like, I have my mornings free. I may work till midnight, but I get up at 7 every day, and I have my mornings free to do things, but I can't fill that morning I'm assuming like regular people do, like I used to do when I was younger and healthier, is I can't be like, okay, starting at 9 or 10, I'm going to start, taking this class, and then, I'll stop an hour before I start my work shift, and then I'll start working. I can't do that. Like, if I did that when it came time to start my work shift, I would be dealing with the physical pain and discomfort from the fact that I've just been sitting there watching and learning and doing a class. And now I got to do it for 8 hours for my job. But also I've used up my brain power for what I'm able to learn, listen to, retrieve from my memory, and, problem solve and all that. I've used all of that up. So now I'm going to be struggling and having a lot of frustration and anxiety trying to do it with my job. So it's not a lack of wanting to do something or believing in myself or even a lack of understanding necessarily. It's just, I can only do so much in a day. Every day doesn't count, because there's days my brain is just like, we don't get anything. Like, right now, you're not going to learn anything new today. and I just have to okay, we're not learning anything new today. But when sometimes when you're trying to be open and share some of this stuff with people, and they hear about the level of research you're doing and all this effort that you're putting into things and all of that, they're proud of you, and they want you to help them with that same process for themselves. And so right now, one of my biggest things that I am trying to learn to balance is helping other people, encouraging other people, and teaching other people the things that I've taken the time to learn and understand, without giving so much that I won't be able to do these things for myself. And I don't know where that balance is, where, someone's like, hey, help, can you create this for me? Can you make this for me? Can you set this up for me? Can you build this for me? Or whatever it is, can you give me ideas on this? Can you, I love helping and sharing what I'm able to do. But sometimes I'm like, where do I draw that line of, I need to be spending some of this time and energy and brain power on my own personal goals, and because they can't see what I'm doing on my end for myself, it seems like I'm just doing nothing. And so they're just like, well, if you're not doing anything right now, or if your plans can't happen right now, you might as well help me in the process. Not being able to realize that that's also taking up any of the time and energy I would have had to further my own plans and goals. So I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling. I don't know what I'm going to do with this video, but it's just something that I was thinking about and wanted to share is, for people who are dealing with chronic illness, making complex plans for their future, learning new things, getting new skills, and researching things. I mean, I know it's hard for everyone, but what my brain is able to actually do and what I want to do and know that I should be able to do are completely different things. And so me 10 years ago would have been able to learn everything I need to know and be prepared to start a new business in a few months. But the me now, this may take a few years. And I just have to be in reality of that. And I wish it was easier for other people to understand that. So, yeah.